If you're just joining in, it is the morning drive on Providence Television International, and with me during this interview session, I have with me the Chief Executive Officer, Providence Television International, Dr. Emmanuel Egariwa. You're welcome to the segment.
Yes, very beautiful segment. Judging by the kind of thing we talk about and judging from the kind of responses we are getting, yes, it's a beautiful one, really.
Thank you so much. Well, just before we continue, if you want to tune in to Providence Television International, just go to your YouTube, your app on your phone or any of your devices and simply type in Providence Television International. Click at the like button, subscribe, and you will be tuned to us at any time that you want to be. On the interview section this morning, we will be looking at gearing up for 2027 elections. Is that necessary now, sir? We are still in the year 2024, just a year and some days into the new administration, and people are already gearing up for 2027 elections. Is this a sign of dissent? Is it a sign of not being comfortable with the present administration? And in a nutshell, is this what we should be thinking about now, 2027 elections?
Well, honestly, I'm worried. I'm worried because we still have about 3 years to the next election. And people are ready. Nigerians are just funny people. Yes, particularly political actors. Why must they even be thinking of 2027 now? Why? We have not gotten out of the woods, okay? And yet people are already doing all kinds of realignment of forces, and things like that. Even the administration, understand they're already gearing towards 2027. That baffles me, and it baffles a lot of well-meaning people, because there are so many issues on the ground, okay? And believe it or not, when a president begins to think of the next election, or when a governor, sitting governor even, is thinking of the next election, just after 1 year, very soon it becomes a lame duck.
Okay.
What the Americans call a lame duck. What is a lame duck? A duck naturally is slow.
Yes.
Then it becomes lame. Then what do you expect? There will be no movement. Okay? So they shouldn't be thinking of that. It becomes a major distraction, really. The next 1-2 years, we shouldn't really be talking seriously now. We shouldn't be talking about election. Because when you begin to talk about election, a lot of things give way. Governance gives way, and a lot of sectors suffer unduly. So I believe that there must be a halt to that at the moment.
Okay.
It doesn't quite add up.
It doesn't quite add up. Well, we'll be taking this gradually in steps. This quota system, where you say governance should go to the north this time, governance should be zoned to the east this time, and governance should be zoned to the west this time. Do you think that it encourages the "it is my turn" syndrome?
Well, there's no doubt that a lot of people will feel disadvantaged. I mean, some sectors of the country will feel disadvantaged because there must be a sense of belonging. All right? That's what keeps us together as a people and as a country. So you can imagine if a particular section of the country is sidelined consecutively for a good number of years, then you begin to wonder. Okay. I believe that perhaps we should enshrine this in our constitution, what they call rotational presidency. But even if we must do that, then it has to be one single term, right? It is the idea of double tenure that drives people into all kinds of things that are unspeakable and unprintable. Okay. Now, when you have a single term, then truly speaking, you are talking about rotational presidency. In other words, if you have 5 years, you know that it's going to another region, and after that, another region. Okay. So that's what it is. But we need to put it into the constitution so it becomes binding. Okay. Right now, what we are doing is not binding. Okay. Because you will have thought that after Buhari, somebody from somewhere else will come. Obasanjo has been here, Jonathan has been here from the south. Buhari came from the north, and then you expect the power base to go somewhere else. But the power base has gone to the southwest, which was the home base of Obasanjo. by the way, within a space of how many years? So these are things we must talk about, seriously speaking. And a lot of people have raised eyebrows about the configuration. I think, and quite frankly, that we must rotate.
Okay.
Yes. But in rotating the presidency, there must be room for merit and also excellence. That's what counts at the end of the day.
Talking about merit and excellence, the electoral body, are you still, because sometimes we discussed it, but not so in depth, are you still of the opinion that the INEC chairman should come in as a result of votes and not as an appointee of an incumbent president?
He should not be an appointee, because you see, if he's an appointee, you become loyal to whoever appointed you. That's natural. But if he's voted into a process, then you become loyal to the Constitution. I think that also drives me to the point of building institutions. We are not building institutions in this country. We are building strong people, but not strong institutions. Because if you build a strong institution, and there are many, by the way, strong institutions like the electoral body, like the police, for instance, like the judiciary, then you are enhancing the strength of those institutions. But if you build strong individuals, then you are weakening the command structure of those institutions. That's what we're experiencing in this country. And a lot of Nigerians, very eminent Nigerians, have talked about this, and I support them, that, look, we must build institutions that can stand face to face with propriety.
Okay.
If look at an institution like AFCC, for instance. Okay, the chap is an appointee of the president, right? The head of the AFCC is an appointee of the president. So whoever appoints the AFCC chairman must do no wrong. Naturally, I mean, you should expect that. But if it's through another process, due process, then you begin to get more loyal to the Constitution. Damning consequences. Look at Donald Trump, for instance. He was put on trial. In this country, that cannot be easy, okay, for very many obvious reasons. So institutions must be strong, they must be reliable. In fact, it's in my book. Yes, in my book, the Pathways to Effective Leadership, is one of the things I talked about there. That institutions must be strong, they must be viable, and they must be reliable as well.
Okay.
Yes. No matter where the head is coming from, it could be from the north, from the south, but provided it's based on merit. Merit and adherence to the Constitution. That is what, I mean, the Constitution is the ground norm, is the document that controls how this country is run, controls all of us. So when you have the Constitution intact, and that Constitution is supported by the niceties of independence of these bodies, then thumbs up.
Okay.
Yes.
From your point of view, should religious affiliation come in when it comes to choosing presidents or leaders in our country? A situation where you say it should be a Christian-Muslim ticket, a Muslim-Muslim ticket, and all that. Should all those kind of things come in as regards the the election period?
When we have good governance, when we have people who are trusted, such sentiments don't even arise.
Okay.
Because I don't know how old you were then in 1993. MK Abiola chose Kingibe. I mean, I was in Government House as Chief Press Secretary then. Chose Kingibe as his runner, and there was no uproar. Muslim ticket. There was not. Abiola Muslim, Kingibe Muslim. There were no rough edges. Yeah, but gradually over time, we began to see all these cleavages. Okay, oh, this is a Christian, this is a Muslim, and one of our sore points in this country, I keep saying that, is religion.
Okay.
Yes, whether it's Christianity or Islam. There are so many sentiments attached to religion. And that's why I say, so these days, I told you before, these days I feel reluctant to say I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian, yes. But if people ask me now, say, what's my religion? I say, religion of God. Yes, that says it all. Yeah, but when you begin to bring all these things into within the purview of politics, they will begin to have issues.
Okay.
Yes, but ordinarily we shouldn't. I'll give you an example. In Edo State, for instance, we have a Christian population, we have Muslim population. Up north, we have a very huge Muslim population. But nobody has ever raised it, that, oh, the deputy must come from the Islamic religion or whatever. I mean, look at Governor Baseki, for instance, he picked Shaibu. Yeah, even now, Mobayo is it's a young boy I know very well. Mobayo is a Christian. Christian. Okay? So it is when you now have polarization, it will give religion all kinds of coloration that will begin to have that. In Kaduna, when El-Rufai was there, this issue again came up.
Okay.
Muslim or Christian Muslim or whatever it is. But I think that those things should be subsumed.
Okay.
Into the far recesses of our intellect. We are too far ahead as a nation to be thinking of all these cleavages.
Okay.
But of course, the people who think about it or who do it are conscious of the fact that we are polarized by religious sentiments, which is playing a very bad role in our politics, in our body politic. So, honestly, religion should play a second fiddle. Okay,
situation where you have an individual there's the individual candidate not belonging to any party but coming out to say, I want to be president of this country. Do you think that kind of thing is possible in the Nigeria of today?
Independent candidacy.
Independent candidacy, exactly.
Well, yes. I'm one of the people clamoring for that. I clamor for it day and night. And a lot of well-meaning people in this country clamor for it. Independent. Well, first of all, it is cheaper. It is less laborious. Okay? And you don't have all this, again, to use the phrase, these rough edges you find in political party structures. Because that structure has failed us many, many times. And I'll give you the reasons. I mean, if you are coming on the platform of Party A, the party leaders play a role. A role that will determine who comes in as either the governor or the president. Okay? But it goes, as we have seen in this country, it goes to the highest bidder. Yes, and we can't hide it anymore. It goes to the highest bidder. And a lot of people, a lot of good people in this country who have the verve and who also have the vitality, they don't have the money. Their pockets are not deep, but they have the intellect to drive the state or the country to the desired end, positive desired end. But the party structure is such that, I've said it, and I've said it again, they will ask you, for instance, how much do you have to offer? It's an item of merchandise. They ask you, and you begin to negotiate, as it were. Oh, I can offer 1 billion, I can offer 2 billion. The big problem there is, even if you are able to pay the money, what now goes on when you assume office? Okay? So, but when you have independent candidacy, and you have a guy who has paid his dues, who has very fantastic track records, he can now ask people to vote for him on his own terms. This is what I would do, this is what I would do, this is what I would do. He can now pick whoever into place. In fact, that will even aid the process of, for instance, at the national level. It can aid the process of unity government. Because as a person you voted for as an individual, you can bring good people from all the parties. Yes, and there are good people across the divide, anyway, whether you like it or not. Even as at now, there are good people that you can pick from PDP, from APC, from ABGA, whatever, form them into a caucus. And then you keep the country moving. But with a party structure, you weaken the command structure of the party, first of all, by doing some things. A lot of people will even go against you. That, look, we don't like what you... I mean, look at Wike, for instance, as an example. Wike, well, I don't know the kind of configuration that is, but he has not been bold enough to say, look, I want to leave my party to come to APC. So he's ambivalent. He has one leg in PDP, he has one leg in APC. That's unusual. But in other climes, he could just have said, look, I want to resign from, I want to join APC to form a government with APC. So that's the way it is. And I believe that we can do better. We can do better. I look forward to a day. It's a constitutional matter, by the way. I look forward to a day when, yes, we'll change the format and the profile becomes clearer. That, look, we want to have people, even in the National Assembly. Yes. We must talk about the National Assembly because that is the engine room. Yes. It's the engine room of any democratic process because they are representing the people. Okay? So if we have like minds, for instance, in the National Assembly, people who will say, look, I don't even want to go there for the money. The situation will change, the scenario will change, because right now it's full-time business for them, and it shouldn't be. Why must it be full-time? And somebody, you are filling a form, you say profession, you say politician. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So when we have the National Assembly that says, look, come on the basis of part-time basis.
Okay.
Many of these people will have now, they will not contest. Will not. Part-time means your remuneration will be reduced very drastically. It is then you have good people who are going to serve genuinely. Yes, that's a problem.
Okay, well, on a final note, some schools of thought, political schools of thought, have been able to come out to say this multiple political party system will have a situation of about quite a number of political parties registered, and during the elections, you find only 3 at most doing very, very well. Do you think we should streamline the number of political parties that we have in the country?
If you try to streamline, you are denying them of their rights.
Okay.
Yes, legally speaking, you are denying them of it, because the Constitution says freedom of expression, freedom of association. So even there are 100 parties, fair enough, but they will fizzle out on their own. Yes, I mean they will fizzle out because it will be odd for somebody, a party for instance, you are fielding a governor, and at the end of the day, during the election, he has about 100 votes. It comes to naught, really. So they will know on their own. Sometimes I pity some of these gladiators. You know that your party is not recognized by the people, not even by the government now, or rather the electoral body. You know that you are not there. But what most of them do is, they put in their CV former candidate or whatever it is, just going to say good trip, which to me is nonsensical. So if you know that your party is not doing, why don't you merge?
Okay.
Because most of them have similar manifestos. Why don't you merge with the bigger parties so we can form? I don't think that for any developing country we should have more than 3 or 4 parties, really. Okay. I mean, look at US, for instance. 2, as big as that economy is. Just 2. Even though they are independent candidates, you have Republican, you have Democratic Party. So, but in this country, we shouldn't have more than 4, an aggregate of 4, really, because the others, you will be surprised. Election is coming now in Edo State. Some will not get up to 50 votes. I can tell you for free, they will not get up to 50 votes. Then what are you doing? Merge with the other parties so you can have a good fight, right? Yeah, I see all kinds of funny billboards everywhere, but. Doesn't work out that way. It doesn't.
Well, like I've always said, it is quite an engaging session. Always an engaging session with Dr. Egariba. You just want to go on and on and on. Well, still on elections, we have the elections, gubernatorial elections coming up in Edo State, and I'm giving you this assurance that we are going to have so much more focus on the upcoming elections.
Let us briefly talk about that. I mean, you are the presenter, but I think I should just mention this. Election in Edo State is coming on the 21st of September. It's barely a month. But I'm surprised at the weakness of the kind of campaign that the parties are running. I'm rather surprised. We don't have strong campaign strategies. From all the parties. I mean, what kind of campaigns are they running, by the way? We will not see much of them. No, we are not seeing much of the candidates. We are not seeing much of them. And the media is the issue. Yes. I don't know, maybe you can prove me wrong. I'm not seeing much of them, really. It's the campaigns are not strong.
Okay.
Their strategies and all of that, they are not strong. While some are saying, yes, they want to appear on the debate, some are saying, no, it's a no-go area, that kind of thing. So it's a pity that we are in this kind of dilemma. It's a big dilemma. They need to up their games and candidates. We're going
to do something, because we already have that scheduled. Definitely, Providence Television International, the game changer. Like I've always said, we'll live up to that slogan, the game changer. We'll definitely have some of these candidates in the studio, and we are also going to have some political analysts to actually dissect this point that you just raised, that why is it that the upcoming elections, just about a month away, and it looks like nothing is happening. Providence Television International, the game changer. I've always told you that we'll live up to our name. If you want to tune in to Providence Television International online, just simply go to YouTube, and on YouTube, type in on your search bar, Providence Television International, and you are going to see all the programs, both past and present, right there on YouTube. On this note, I will say thanks so much for staying tuned. We've come to the end of the morning drive, today's edition. As usual, I would always tell you, don't go away, as we have quite a lot set down for your viewing delight. I wish you a wonderful day ahead. Please stay tuned.